Welcome back to our channel Movie Splash. Today, we're going to do a recap of an anime movie called Sword Art Online Progressive, Aria of a Starless Night. The film is about a high school student, Asuna, who struggles to survive with a young swordsman after it's revealed that she's trapped inside the game of Sword Art Online, where if your HP drops to 0, your brain will be destroyed in real life. But before we start, beware of spoilers. Watch out and take care. The film opens in 2022, where Akihiko Kayaba creates a virtual reality massively multiplayer online role-playing game, VR-MMORPG, named Sword Art Online, SAO. Former beta tester Kirigaya Kazuto puts on his nerve gear and gets ready for the official launch. As depicted in the first volume of the Sword Art Online Progressive Light Novel series, the nerve gear is a second-generation full dive device developed by a company named Argus, with Kayaba as its creator. It has a single interface that covers the player's entire head. It controls the player's consciousness by redirecting the brain's signals to the nerve gear, such that they can experience and control their in-game characters with their minds without any physical movement. It has its own battery source, as well as a high-frequency electromagnetic microwave transmitter. At 1 p.m. on Sunday, November 6, 2022, he's transported to the town of Beginnings on the first floor of the virtual world ᴍᴏᴠɪᴇ, under the name Kirito, his avatar. Klein, another player, notices that Kirito knows his way around and asks for help after confirming that he is indeed one of the lucky 1,000 beta testers. After showing Klein the ropes while hunting boars, the two decide to part ways since Klein has a pizza already ordered and on its way. But they find the logout button missing from the menu and figure it must be some sort of a bug. That is, until they're transported to the center of town, where the game's creator, Kayaba Akihiko, dispels their suspicions. It's not a bug, it's a feature. It's later revealed that anyone attempting to remove the nerve gear will cause it to destroy their actual brains using powerful microwaves. Besides that, the game was also going to bash people's brains who were to drop to 0 health points. On November 6, 2022, 10,000 players log into SAO for the first time, only to discover that they're unable to log out of the game. Kayaba reveals himself to tell the players that they must beat all 100 floors of ᴍᴏᴠɪᴇ, the enormous steel castle that is the setting of SAO, if they want to escape the game. Only then would they be able to log out. Dying inside of the game or having their nerve gear forcibly removed from their head will cause them to have their brains destroyed by the nerve gear, thus killing them in real life as well. With that, every player's avatar transforms to reflect their real-life appearance, and panic ensues. Kirito asks Klein to come with him to the next village, but Klein stays behind since he can't abandon his friends, and they part ways. Determined to clear the game, Kirito knows what he must do. Become as strong as possible and survive. The first floor still hasn't been cleared a month later, while over 2,000 of the original 10,000 players have already lost their lives. Some of the stronger ones have a meeting to discuss how to find and tackle the boss. A player named Diabel reveals that his party discovered the boss room. Their plan is to lead a raid group of multiple parties of 6 to overpower the boss. As a solo player, Kirito searches for a party to join, but he's out of luck until he spots another solo player, Asuna, and suggests they form a party of 2. Asuna, who has logged into the game with her friend Mito, initially struggles to cope with her new reality of being trapped inside the game. But before they can get ready, a player named Kibao asserts that ex-beta testers need to apologize for going on ahead and leaving the new players behind. Another player, Agil, stands up, putting Kibao in his place by giving him a reality check. The raid group sets out to face Ilfang, the Kobold Lord. Using the guidebook's information, everything goes smoothly. That is, until the boss draws a Nodachi instead of a Talwa sword. Surprisingly, this wasn't in the beta. Kirito tries to warn Diabel, but isn't fast enough. The boss makes quick work of him. Kirito tries to give him some health pots, but he refuses, admitting to being an ex-beta tester who's after the rare item given to the player who lands the final blow. Kirito and Asuna begin their assault on the boss, but one mistake sends him flying into her. Agil steps in, holding off the boss until they recover. Then Kirito delivers the final blow. The raid group begins to rejoice. Everyone except for Kibao, who accuses Kirito of being an ex-beta tester. To everyone's surprise, Kirito bursts out laughing. Now overconfident and cocky, he retorts that he's nothing like the other ex-beta testers. He's the player who cleared the most floors during the beta. He's not a cheater, he's a beta. He has the advantage of knowing important details about the game and the bosses on its floors. Asuna catches up to Kirito, who admits she's strong and advises her to join a guild instead of limiting herself by playing solo. Some months later, in an 11th floor tavern, the moonlit Black Cats Guild raises a glass to thank Ǩūrītō for saving their lives. Despite being a solo player, he accepts their offer to join the guild, but hides his true level from the members. The guild leader messages him the next day, explaining that Sachi went missing. When Ǩūrītō finds her, she proposes that they run away. Instead of fighting, they could wait until someone else clears the game. He assures her that the guild is strong enough that she shouldn't fear death, while making a promise to himself to protect them. The rest of the guild decides to go tackle a dungeon while the leader buys them a house. They stumble across a hidden room with only a chest in the center. Ǩūrītō suspects it's a trap and tries to warn them. As the door seals shut, their teleportation crystals are useless. They're surrounded by mobs. One by one, Ǩūrītō watches helplessly as his fellow guild members die. Sachi turns to him, but he can't make out her last words. Ǩūrītō learns of a rare item that resurrects a fallen comrade, but it only drops from a secret boss that spawns on Christmas Day. Traveling to the spawn point, he finds Klein's guild has been following him, offering to help. But those aren't the only pursuers. The Divine Dragons Alliance shows up. After a series of events and fatal attacks, they succeed and save their brains from bashing in real life. Later, they take Yui back to the church, where a player has been taking care of all the kids in the game, but she's never seen Yui before. Yulia, the army's second-in-command, appears at the door, thanking them for putting the soldiers in their place and requesting their help. She details how the guild has become corrupt and more brazen, sending members to their deaths on the upper floors. The massacre they witnessed was on Kibao's orders, and now he's trying to get rid of Thinker, the guild leader. He lures Thinker to a dungeon below the town of Beginnings, telling him to come unarmed, just to talk, but Kibao leaves him there to die. Asuna is skeptical, but Yui affirms that Yulia is telling the truth. Ǩūrītō decides to take the chance, and Yui insists on joining them. Thinker is still alive in a safe zone, but when they get close, he warns that it's a trap, but it's too late. They're face to face with a boss whose level is too high for them to see. There's no way they can beat them. That is, until Yui steps between them, revealing herself to be an immortal object. She begins hovering and summons a huge flaming sword, destroying the boss with a single blow. Yui's memories are finally restored. Yui explains how the system is run by the Cardinal program and that she is an AI meant to aid players' mental states, but trapped and alone, she can only watch while her programming slowly breaks down. She recalls how one day she found two players who had felt joy for the first time since the game launched, Ǩūrītō and Asuna, so she set out to find them. However, when Yui uses the GM console to delete the boss, the main Cardinal program locates and begins erasing her. Ǩūrītō jumps into action. Using the GM console, he creates an in-game item containing Yui's program. After their 2-week vacation, Ǩūrītō and Asuna receive an urgent summons from Heathcliff requesting their return to the front line. He debriefs them on the latest developments. A 20-member recon team scouted the boss. Half of them got trapped in the center of the anti-crystal boss chamber. When it was over, the room was completely empty. No trace of the players or the boss. Ǩūrītō asks Asuna to stay behind, but she tells him if anything happened, she wouldn't be able to go on living without him. The next day, everyone gathers to get ready to face the boss. Even Klein and Agil are there to help. The raid group charges into the room, but it's completely empty. Well, not completely. The Skull Reaper drops from the ceiling. It mows down players with ease, one shooting anyone who can't negate the damage. Players are going down, one after the other, but if Ǩūrītō and Asuna block together, they have a chance of survival, no matter how slim. They pull off the impossible, but they still have 25 more floors left. Ǩūrītō notices that Heathcliff's health hasn't turned yellow. Thinking back to their duel, it suddenly hits him. He launches an attack against the captain only to see the same immortal object indicator that Yui had. Something has been bugging Ǩūrītō. He's thinking, why create an RPG if you aren't going to play it? Captain Heathcliff is Akihiko Kayaba, the creator of SAO. It first occurred to him during their duel when Kayaba increased his speed to win, claiming that Ǩūrītō was too fast and strong. He wouldn't have lost if he didn't cheat. He confirms his true identity, revealing that he is the final boss. Kayaba always thought he'd face off with Ǩūrītō at the end before he leaves for the 100th floor. He gives Ǩūrītō a chance to duel. If he wins, he clears the game, and all remaining players are logged out safely. Despite his friend's warnings, this could be their only chance to survive. Ǩūrītō thanks them for everything before preparing to fight Kayaba, making him promise to not allow Asuna to commit suicide should he lose. This isn't a game. This is a fight to the death. Using skills that Kayaba didn't design is his best bet, but it's not enough. He's wide open, and Kayaba is already saying sayonara. Before he can do anything, Asuna comes between them, sacrificing herself. Kayaba plunges his sword into Kirito's chest, taking his health points to 0, but Kirito refuses to die. He spears the captain with his sword, killing both of them simultaneously. He's transported to a platform in the sky along with Asuna and Kayaba, who can't really give a good reason as to why he created SAO. It was merely to create the world he's always dreamed of, one where he was in control. Kirito and Asuna embrace, knowing that their time together was the happiest either of them had ever been, until Kazuto awakens in the hospital, determined to find Asuna in the real world. To watch more explanations of these kinds of movies, click on the thumbnails on your screen and don't forget to share your thoughts about today's video in the comments section. Kindly like the video and subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos. And at last, I'll say, stay safe, stay well. See you next time and thanks for watching.